Date, time, and temperature, Sunday, July 7th, 2024, 9:30 a.m. at 78 degrees. It's going to be a hot, humid, and hazy summer day. Temperature rising up to 92 degrees. So I think I'm going to take an indoor detour today. Happy Independence Day weekend if you celebrate. When I think of July 4th weekend, I think of Jaws. Many of the scenes from Jaws took place over July 4th weekend. You know who wasn't celebrating July 4th was Chrissy Watkins, Alice Kittner, Pippet the dog, fisherman Ben Gardner, the dude in the rowboat who lost his leg, and of course Captain Quint. But I'll have a hot dog on their behalf. For today's detour, you and I have traveled back to Boxboro, Massachusetts, more specifically the Boxboro Regency Hotel and Convention Center for a one-day pop culture convention. Several times a year, my friend Gary hosts the NorthEast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza out here at the Boxboro Regency. Today, no Comic-Con, but it is indeed a Collectibles Extravaganza. There's going to be 60 vendors out here selling nothing but pop culture goodness from decades past, possibly some current pop culture stuff. I'm here for the vintage stuff. I'm a kid from, I was born in 74, so I'm looking from stuff from the 70s, from the 80s, up to the early 90s. Hell, I even dig the stuff from the 50s and 60s. So I'm here for the old stuff that I possibly had as a kid and my parents threw away when I went to college or got lost in, the shuffle, moving over the years and stuff. I'm here to recollect, repurchase some treasures, some pop culture treasures that I used to have or possibly never had, but I want to add to my pop culture room, and I'm bringing you along with me. Speaking of vintage, I always love coming into the Boxboro Regency Hotel with this super retro 70s looking indoor pool. If Jaws kept you out of the ocean during the July 4th weekend, this is probably the perfect place for you to come take a swim. Ain't no sharks in here. Well, that's unfortunate. It appears that the poolside bar is not open and operational today. And it's a bummer that the Minuteman Grill, which is the hotel bar and restaurant, it's not open and operational today either. So it appears today that I'll be sober Juan Kenobi. A little bit of a spoiler alert for later on this afternoon. I wasn't going to tell you until after I left here, but I'm going to see Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm back on the big screen for 2 nights only. Tonight is night number 1. Then it's back on the 10th as well. I purchased tickets for tonight's show. Classic Steven Spielberg movie right here. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Summer blockbuster. I repurchased a VCR not too long ago, and I'm a huge Disney fan. I'm a big fan of Disney movies. I used to have the whole collection of the Disney Vault back on VHS tapes. I'm giving to my sister to give to her kids about 15 years ago. I wouldn't mind repurchasing some of these Disney classics for, VCR play. Speaking of VCR, check this out. The WrestleMania VCR game. I don't know if I ever had this. Grease. One of my favorite movies of all time and definitely my first crush. Olivia Newton-John as Sandy. Although I was more of a fan of Sandy up there, the wholesome girl next door Sandy. Don't get me wrong, I definitely did love Leather Sandy. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. In fact, we got a Ghostbuster overload over here. Nice. Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. I had Castle Grayskull when I was a kid. Never had the Snake Mountain, but of course I had Skeletor. He-Man, you boob. If you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, they got a bunch of turtle stuff out here. Check it out. They got the sewer playset. Man, lots of pop culture goodness going on over here. Huckleberry Hound, Mickey Mouse, and Yogi Bear. These are awesome. Captain Caveman. Sorry, Ranger Smith, sir. I cannot stick around. I have a stolen picnic basket. Tennessee Tuxedo. The voice of Tennessee Tuxedo is Don Adams, who was Agent 99. Is that Agent 99? In Get Smart. Or is Agent 99 the female? Anyways, Don Adams, Get Smart, Tennessee Tuxedo, same guy. I was never really a big fan of the Power Rangers. I think that was, when I started Getting a little bit older, those came out. But I am a fan of the vintage 1966 Batmobile. Check out these characters from the 1966 Batman. I'm a big fan of the Batman from 66. Excellent. Bill and Ted? Is that Martin Short from Saturday Night Live, or is that Alfalfa from the Little Rascals? Check out this Pee Wee Herman party playset. It's my birthday. Man, there's some old stuff over here. We got that Moldomatic Jiminy Cricket. We got a Yogi Bear camera, and check it out. Hey. It's Fred Flintstone. Got some Mego Planet of the Apes figures. If you're a fan of the Planet of the Apes, Gary's got you covered. Check these out. So, Gary, those are the models right there that are in those boxes?
They were in those boxes, and some kid decided to put them together. And interestingly enough, they painted them white so that they could then be painted perfectly. And then the guy died.
Do you still have the paint for these or no?
No, you go to the store and buy paint.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. A Planet of the Apes jail set and a Planet of the Apes plastic mask. Gary is also your hookup for all that Roger Rabbit merch. He's got a ton of it out here. I'll be back. I know, different movie, but it's still Arnold. Man, check out these Super 8mm color films of Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, Disneyland, the Jungle Cruise. I'm gonna have to purchase these and then find myself a Super 8 camera. Maybe I can show those Super 8s on this Donald Duck projector. When do you ever see Bullwinkle and Donald Duck in the same anything? This Mickey stuff over here's gotta be old, right? I'm pretty sure this is the Hatbox Ghost from the Haunted Mansion. This is like a very old Ouija board. Doc Savage, I never heard of you. There's only one Savage I know. Ooh yeah, I'm talking about the Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah, the cream of the crop. Looking at you looking at you through the video scope. Damn, $375 for this Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah. Who's your favorite alien? Alf or E.T.? Who didn't love Alf? Lucky? You are now a big one. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I'm craving a Big Mac. Look at that vintage McDonald's watch. An E.T. pajama set? Get out of here. You got double X? I definitely had this E.T. snack tray growing up in the 80s. Friday the 13th, part 3 on VHS tape. Friday 3 is probably in my, top 3 Friday the 13th. I think this is probably my favorite, followed by number 4 and number 2. That's a pretty dope Nosferatu figure. I've never seen this before. Check him out, 40 bucks. That's like one of my favorite versions of Dracula right there, Nosferatu. And I've never seen these two figures out here. Bride of Frankenstein and the Wolfman. This is the originator of Haktua. So what you gonna do, brother? I pity the fool don't pick up my Mr. T Club of Lang figure out here for $50. Are you guys bigger fans of GoBots or Transformers? Is that a Shogun Warriors Skeletor? I had a Shogun Warriors Godzilla back in the early 80s. I ain't never seen a Shogun Skeletor. I'm sure someone's gonna correct me in the comments saying that's not Shogun. There you go, it's proof, it's a Shogun. I'm seeing a bunch of Shogun Warriors over here, but no Shogun Godzilla. Come on, you know I'm gonna show you a Godzilla in any pop culture video I do. King of the Stuntmen, Evel Knievel. Is this the rocket he tried to jump Snake River with? I checked the box, it's vintage. It's from 1984, and you can go home with this clock for 180 bucks. Imagine having R2-D2 and C-3PO, a vintage clock, a talking clock on your bedside table. I spy a Lego Luke Skywalker land speeder. I'm definitely not going to pick this up today because I have my eye on the brand new $150 Orca from Jaws, complete with shark, and Captain Quinn, Chief Brody, and Matt Hooper, which is coming out later this summer. RoboCop, nice. Dead or alive, you are coming with me. Police Academy. I love the movies. Not so much the cartoon, though. You know, a little too G-rated for me. You can't throw a pop culture convention without having Chuck Norris in the house. Chuck Norris built the house. What? You could buy R.G. Bunker's grandson? Check this thing out. It's from the late 60s. A Detour viewer of mine just said hi to me. His name's Matt. Hello, Matt. Thanks for watching the videos. And he actually purchased this thing. It's like an old shooter game. It's like a little shooting gallery. How much you pay for that thing, Matt?
100.
100 bucks? That's not bad.
It's pretty good, works.
Did you used to have it as a kid or no?
Yeah, I did have one.
So you're like me. You're out here looking for stuff that you used to have and it got thrown out over the years.
House burned down years ago.
Oh.
A lot of my stuff got lost, including one of these.
Yeah?
I mean, for 100 bucks and it works.
Check out this vintage Mr. Potato Head, huh? I'm curious to see what year this is from. I can't tell the last time I've seen this much Man from Uncle merch in the same place. This guy's got a good collection of the Man from Uncle. We got a lunchbox over here, Man from Uncle. The Man from Uncle ray gun. I love classic lunchboxes too. I wonder if these still have the thermoses. I heard it through the grapevine. If you know, you know. I was definitely a Smurfs fan back in the 80s. I still have a couple of my Smurfs from back in the day. Rainbow Bright. I wasn't a collector, but my sister used to play with this stuff back in the day. My Pretty Ponies. Again, something I didn't collect, but my sister definitely did. Strawberry Shortcake. My sister collected those as well. Oh man, back in the 80s and 90s, I was a huge fan of Mad Magazine. I've never heard of this magazine. Crazy. Kind of looks like it's a competitor to Mad Magazine. That can't be Mayor Wilson from Back to the Future, can it? I'm pretty sure it's an original Barbie. Is she from the 1950s or 1960s? That's amazing. We got some superhero Miko figures over here, still on card with the Toys R Us sticker on it. The original price? Boba Fett. Does he have the launch rocket though? That's pretty cool. A mold-o-matic of Dopey from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I was getting excited for a second. I thought this was from Jaws, but this is from Stranger Things. I recently bought a record player, so now I can play LPs at my house. I'm a fan of Mickey Mouse telephones. This looks like a 90s Mickey Mouse telephone. Would you say $10 for the Mickey Mouse? Mickey and Minnie Pez dispenser?
That's it.
I took my viewers on my channel to this Pez museum in Connecticut a couple years ago. It was 2018. Is that candy still good or what?
Your guess is as good as mine.
You guys a fan of the Bionic Woman? You can buy her sports car out here for $150. There's some cool stuff out here. Nice. I have left the Pop Culture Collectibles Extravaganza. In fact, I'm back home at home base. I'm grilling up some burgers before I head to the AMC Theater tonight to revisit the 1977 classic, Steven Spielberg classic, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And I think I said earlier that it was a summer blockbuster. I was wrong. It actually came out December 14th, 1977. I was only 3 years old when Close Encounters of the Third Kind came out in 1977, but I'm a huge fan of the movie. In fact, I remember watching that movie non-stop when my parents got our first VCR in the early to mid 1980s. Close Encounters of the Third Kind was one of those repeat rentals that I would always ride my bike down to the store and get. I forgot to buy some cheese this week when I was out grocery shopping, so today it's just going to be a burger with ketchup. Let me tell you something, brother. That heat out there has gotten to me. Definitely going to jump in a cold shower and grab myself one of these Dole Whips. Since I can't be at Disney right now, and quite frankly, it's way too hot to be at Disney, I got some Dole Whip here. Changing plans for this evening. I ended up canceling my ticket to AMC to see Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I didn't feel like leaving the house after all. Instead, I'm just watching the movie for free here in the comfort of my own living room. I got to give a big thanks and a shout out to those Detour viewers that help support the channel financially by donating to my Patreon page. Big shout out to Karen O'Reilly, Marshall Brown, Peter Jargalos, Dane Lavender, Steve Davis, C. Marie, David Goldman, Matthew Harton, Megan Milliman, Stephen Brady, Emilio Flores, Danielle Benedenti, Jeff Knudsen, Hubie Dubois, David and Jess, MacMallo, Brian Dugan, Ron Crocker, Stephen Shirley, Ben Smith, Vesper and Ollie Anderson, Melissa C., Senior U-Team, Eric Montolano, Bitchy Witch and Spooky, Joel Riendo, James Schimmelman, Tenacious Day, Kansas Girl Abroad, Runty and Mr. Beanie, Sandra Mialos, Joe and Stacy, Steve White, Bill Lutz, Richard Clacka, Ralph Longmore, Zombie Joe, Keith and Don Gagne, Mark Biss, John Bryson, Taylor and Whitney Wingard, Jenny Cooper, Melanie Ramos, Poochie D, the Pierce family, John Nelson, John and Mel, Jesse DeStasio, Kevin Hashimoto, Renee Gunther, Anthony Mazzone, Rosalie Drawbog, and Dan Hanlon. Thank you guys so very much for your generous donations. Thank you for enjoying my videos enough that you want to help support the channel financially. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, I wish you a happy, a healthy, a safe, and of course, a wicked fun 2024. And as always, cheers, my friends. Well, that's going to be it for this detour documenting the NorthEast Collectibles Extravaganza 2024 Summer Edition. If you enjoyed this sort of content, I invite you to check out my pop culture and horror movie convention playlist here on my YouTube channel. You know what to do next. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It helps more people see the video. Leave a comment down below. I always answer all the comments. If you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing to Detours. Click that red subscribe button, and while you're clicking away, click that small bell. It'll give you instant notification every single time I upload a brand new detour. I invite you to check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram at Derek Millen, DerekMillen. Also have a Facebook group, Derek Millen's Detours. And as always, I'll catch you on the next detour.